Let's look at some of the literary devices used in the poem. The first one is simile. Simile is a figure of speech that has to do with the comparison of two different things by using as or like. Let's see simile in the poem. Lines 1 and 2. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. This compares the woman's beauty to the night, showing calmness and mystery. This simile presents the woman as an elegant yet soft in appearance. As the first two lines of the poem, the simile creates an impression in the mind of the readers about the personality of the woman, and it sets the tone for the poem. Let's go to imagery. Imagery is the use of metaphorical expressions which create mental pictures in the mind of the readers. Almost all images used in this poem are imagery of sight. Line 2. Cloudless clime and starry skies. This creates a clear picture of a night when the stars are out glowing in the sky without any cloud obscuring them. We also have imagery in lines 3 and 4. And all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and arise. This creates a mental picture of having both bright and dark elements in her appearance. Her hair is raven black and her face glows softly. This creates the picture of brightness and darkness and all that's best of dark and bright. Also in line 9, where we have which waves in every raven tress. Raven tress is a vivid description of a dark hair. Let's go to line 15. That was the last example of the image. That's the last example of imagery we have there in line 15. The tints that glow. This line creates a clear picture of a woman's beauty and helps the reader imagine her. The tints that glow. It creates the mental picture of a woman glowing softly in the dark. Let's go to the next device, which is metaphor. Metaphor is an indirect comparison, a comparison done without as or like. Line 8, had half impaired the nameless grace. Here, the nameless grace is metaphorical. The woman's beauty is compared to a nameless grace. The adjective nameless shows that her beauty is indescribable. Let's go to the next device, which is personification. Personification is a device in which a human action, character, or quality is given to a non-human entity. Line 9, which waves in every raven tress. The poet personifies the woman's hair by saying that it waves. So here it's a personification to the woman's hair. Line 11, thoughts serenely sweet express. Thoughts serenely sweet express. This line personifies thoughts by being able to express themselves visibly on the woman's face. Let's go to the next device, enjambment. Enjambment is achieved when a sentence does not finish within a line of poetry and is carried over to the following line without a pause. We can see enjambment in the poem, but let's see the first stanza. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. You can see that the first line does not finish that thought. The sentence continues in the following line, in the second line, like the night of cloudless clime and starry skies. So that is an example of enjambment. When the sentence does not finish in one sentence, it does not finish in one line, rather, it goes to the next line. It's an enjambment. Let's see line 3 and 4. And all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and arise. That is also enjambment. Thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. Also an enjambment. In fact, if you look at the whole of the stanza, there is just only one full stop and in the whole of the stanza, and that is on the last line. It means the whole of the stanza is just one sentence. Let's go to the next device. Assonance. Assonance is the repetition of the same vowel sound in nearby words. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. In these particular lines, we have the I diphthong repeated. Like, the I diphthong in like, the I diphthong in night, the I diphthong in climb, and also in skies. All of these are examples of assonance, the repetition of the I diphthong. Then alliteration. This refers to the repetition of the same or related consonant sounds in nearby words. In line 2, we have alliteration of cloudless climes and starry skies. Cloudless climes, the repetition of the K and the L sound, the sound of the letter K and the sound of the letter L. Cloudless, climb. Also, there is the repetition of the S sound, starry, skies. These two sounds are repeated in line 2. Also in line 11, where thought serenely sweet express, serenely sweet, the repetition of the sound of the letter S, serenely sweet. That is also an alliteration. Then in line 13, the smile that win, the tint that glow. So we have the repetition of this consonant sound, the sound of the TH, the. The next device is parallelism. Parallelism is the repetition of the same grammatical structure, and we can find that in line 13, the smiles that win, the tint that glow. In the structure above, we have article they, we have the article the, followed by a plural noun, smiles, followed by a relative pronoun, that, and followed by a verb, win. The same structure is repeated after it, where we have the article the, followed by a plural noun, tint, followed by a relative pronoun, that, and followed by a verb, glow. I put that in different colors. The article there can be found in purple color, whereas the plural nouns are in red color, that is smiles, and the tint. Then we have the relative pronoun, that, in green color. Then we have the last word, the verbs, win in the first clause, then glow in the second clause. They are in black color. If you look at it, article, noun, relative pronoun, verb. That is the first clause. Then the second clause as well, article, noun, relative pronoun, verb. So it is the same structure. That is what we call parallelism. The next device is antithesis. An antithesis is achieved when two opposing ideas in the form of phrases or clauses are placed beside each other in order to create a balance. Most antithetical expressions are parallelisms. Let's see line 7. One shade the more, one ray the less. One shade the more, one ray the less. This is a good example of an antithesis. If you study this expression, you will realize that the two ideas are opposite to each other. One shade the more, one ray the less. Shade is the opposite of ray, while more is the opposite of less. Let's go to the next device, which is caesura. Caesura is achieved when there is a pause within a line of poetry. This pause can be achieved with the introduction of a comma, hyphen, or a full stop. In this example, we have a comma, and that is the first line of the poem. She walks in beauty like the night. That comma there is an example of caesura. For us to know that the comma in this expression is used to create a pause, you will notice that grammatically, a comma is not needed in this expression. So the poet deliberately added the comma to create a pause, which we call caesura. Let's go to the next device, contrast. Contrast is an expression of opposite ideas. Unlike antithesis, a contrast does not have to be in two phrases or clauses. We can find it in lines 3 and 4. And all that is best of dark and night meet in her aspect and eyes, and all that is best of dark and bright. Dark and bright, these two words are contrast because they are opposite to each other within the same sentence. The speaker uses this expression to describe how perfectly darkness and brightness blend to create harmony in the woman's beauty. The best of darkness and the best of brightness bring about her beauty. Okay, let's move to the structure of the poem. The poem has 3 stanzas, each with 6 lines, and that's the sestet. Remember, we talked about sestet at the beginning of this video. This structure creates balance and order. The rhyme scheme in each of the stanzas are alternating A-B, 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 which makes the poem sound musical. The steady rhythm adds to the calm and gentle tone. Each stanza develops the idea of beauty from physical appearance to inner character. The structure supports the theme of harmony and balance. Now let's discuss She Walks in Beauty as a romantic poem. She Walks in Beauty as a romantic poem. She Walks in Beauty by George Gordon Byron is a romantic poem because it celebrates beauty, emotion, and the harmony between the outer world and inner feeling. Romantic poet valued imagination and individual perception. In this poem, Byron presents a woman whose physical beauty reflects her inner purity and calm mind. The poem uses nature imagery. It blends light and darkness to show harmony. The line, "Night of cloudless clime and starry skies," shows balance and perfection. This focus on natural beauty is a key romantic feature. The poet also highlights emotion rather than logic, admiring the lady with deep personal feeling. Also, the poem idealizes the woman. She's portrayed as almost flawless, which reflects the romantic tendency to elevate beauty and virtue and being chivalrous. Being chivalrous means being excessively nice to the female gender. She Walks in Beauty expresses romantic ideals through nature, emotion, and admiration of inner goodness. The poem focuses on beauty, emotion, and imagination. The poet uses nature, especially starry sky, to describe the woman. It also shows the romantic idea that beauty is linked to inner goodness. The poet expresses personal feelings and admiration, which reflects the importance of emotion. The use of vivid imagery and simple language makes the poem expressive and engaging. The idealization of the woman and the focus on her purity and harmony are key features of romantic poetry. So, this is all I've got as far as this video is concerned. I believe it will help you as you prepare for your examination or as you prepare to teach your student, this particular poem. Thank you for being here. Until I come your way again, remember to subscribe to this channel. Then, of course, drop your comment. What do you feel about this video? I want to see your opinions in the comment section. I love to see your comments, and of course, I try my best to reply a good number of them. So until I come your way again, thank you for being here. Bye-bye.